Who doesn't enjoy Squid Games on the dark web? Games like Don Seek, Tug of War, Dog in the Pond, these are thrilling. But what if losing these games meant losing your life? Razi, a 29-year-old ethical hacker, was late at night sending messages on the dark web, trying to catch hackers. Suddenly, he received a message from an anonymous sender. The link read, "Enter this online room, sit for the games, and win over $2 million. Razi had been waiting for such a message. He had already entered many red rooms, traced their sources, and helped capture them. Red rooms are places where people pay money to torture others live. On one side, people were paying, and on the other side, there were types of red rooms where people would bet on who wins or loses. Razi had studied famous cases and knew that accessing these rooms could be dangerous, even for his high-tech system. Still, curiosity got the better of him, and Razi clicked the link, entering the online red room. His screen suddenly turned black, and all the icons disappeared. A new window opened with several boxes mentioning different levels. Suddenly, a message flashed. "Welcome to the Death Games." And below it was a button that read, "Click to play." As soon as he clicked the button, the windows transformed into profiles of different individuals. Each profile had names written below and attached stakes based on their strength, meaning the weaker the person, the more chances to make money if they survived longer or stayed in the game. Razi selected the weakest individual, a man named Alvin. As soon as he selected Alvin's profile, the site turned into CCTV footage showing Alvin chained in a room with several others. Suddenly, a buzzer rang, and masked men carrying long guns appeared, taking everyone away. The screen switched to another camera feed where a blood-stained table held spoons and lemons beside them. Soon, all those chained individuals, men and women of various age, entered the frame. Their clothes were dirty, and their bodies covered in wounds. The masked guards pushed them forward, removed their chains, and made them balance lemons on spoons in their mouths while racing. Suddenly, the guards released hunter dogs behind them. As people ran, some dropped their lemons and were immediately shot dead. Others were caught by the dogs and torn apart. Alvin, terrified, kept running. Around him, 5 others dropped their lemons and were killed on the spot. As people died, coins on the side increased. The longer Alvin survived, the more Bitcoin notifications Razi received. Razi immediately tried to access the site's server, but failed. He sent his computer data to his team, but they couldn't access it either. Then, another message flashed on his screen. "Congratulations on winning," along with Razi's photo taken from his webcam. Razi, dark web hunter, often targeted first. This time, however, it felt like his trap had worked. But when he tried to track the location of the Red Room server using his high-tech software, the location it showed wasn't someone else, it was his own house. This had never happened to Razi in his 10 years of work. His team couldn't track the site, and the server location pointing to his home address meant that this Red Room was far more advanced and dangerous than anything he'd encountered before. He quickly sent updates to his team. In the meantime, another message flashed on his screen. Game 2 begins. The next game was Tug of War, where 2 groups pull a rope to drag it toward their side. Whoever pulls the rope completely to their side wins. The chained individuals were divided into 2 groups by the masked guards. In the middle, shards of glass were tied to the rope, and the ground was scattered with sharp glass pieces. Both groups picked up the rope, stepping painfully on the shards of glass as they began pulling. Everyone screamed in agony from walking barefoot on the sharp glass, wanting to let go of the rope. But when one man dropped it, the masked guards immediately shot him. Fueled by fear, the rest pulled harder, enduring the excruciating pain. Alvin's team was losing, but then, with all their strength, they managed to pull the rope and win. The losing team was executed on the spot. Once again, Razi received Bitcoin notifications, but he was too shocked to celebrate. Razi kept trying to hack into the site's server using different software, but every attempt failed. Suddenly, his screen went blank, and another message appeared. "Congratulations to you, Alvin, and your families for winning." Alongside the message, the screen switched to live footage from the front cameras of Alvin's and Razi's family computers. Their families were visible in the frames, meaning the site owners now had access to their homes. Razi realized he couldn't beat these hackers. He tried shutting down his computer, but another message appeared. "We know who you are. If you quit, you lose everything." At the same time, footage from a security camera outside his house showed masked guards with guns standing near his and Alvin's homes. Razi panicked. He repeatedly tried calling his department and family, but neither his calls nor messages were going through. Suddenly, his screen went blank again, and a new message appeared. Game 3 begins. The camera now focused on an empty table with a large board divided into 9 squares. Beside it were circles and crosses made of jagged wooden pieces. Alvin, still bleeding from earlier wounds caused by the glass shards embedded in his body, was dragged by a guard and forced to sit on a chair. Razi immediately realized the game was tic-tac-toe. The first person to align 3 crosses or circles in a row would win. Alvin's opponent sat across from him, and the game began. At first, Alvin was winning, but due to his injuries and exhaustion from the previous games, he passed out just 1 step away from victory. His opponent completed their row and won the game. Before Razi could react, the guards executed Alvin. Razi's screen went black again, and a final message appeared. "You have lost everything. Never track us again." The screen switched back to live footage of Alvin's and Razi's families. To his horror, Razi watched as the masked guards broke into both houses and killed everyone inside before leaving. Razi broke down, crying uncontrollably. He tried calling his colleagues and friends repeatedly, but his network wasn't working. Finally, he shut off his computer's power supply, turning it off completely. For months afterward, Razi tried to access the site again, but neither he nor his team could find it despite using all their knowledge and technology. Defeated, Razi quit hacking forever and decided never to access the dark web again. Such Squid Games still happen in real life, within red rooms on the dark web. Stay away from this dark world and subscribe for more thrilling crime stories like this.